Welcome to High School Basketball Weekly. My name is Glenn Pooh Harding, and we're going to talk about the AAU circuit. This is part one of Is AAU Hurting American Basketball? Now, I'm a product of AAU, and I know that it done me some justice. But nowadays, there are so many AAU programs, there are so many circuits, and I think that a lot of these kids are being fed false information or just a illusion of grandeur that is going on right now. So let's dive into it and let's see, is AU hurting American basketball? We're going to be taking, you know, some statements from some coaches and trainers from all around the country on Twitter. So if you guys happen to hear some of your quotes, just know that you got my attention and it's something to be talked about. So with saying that, we're going to start out with Dennis Marshall. He is a trainer and scout. Salute to Dennis Marshall. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. He said AAU used to be the best of the best, but parents' kids weren't good enough. So they started creating teams so their kids can play. Now it's a national free-for-all, a USA rec league, which 95% of the kids won't sniff a college basketball court at any level. I wish the system was better. Man, Dennis, you hit it right in the head, man. Look, again, when I started off this segment, I said I'm a product of AAU. Back when I played during the mid 80s, there was only 3 AAU programs in New York. That was the Gauchos, Riverside, Madison Square Broncos. Now, mind you, Gauchos and Riverside traveled way more extensively than the Madison Square Broncos. So we were like the third brother on the totem pole, but we did travel throughout the East Coast. And there wasn't that many AAU programs around the country. So when those kids who were playing high school basketball didn't make an AAU team because there were only 3, man, those guys was working out, playing in tournaments, and waiting for us guys to get back to the city so they could give us that work. And I mean, the competition level was up here. So you never know on any given night, or you knew on any given night or any given afternoon that those guys was going to bring it, whether they play AAU or not, because they was able to play in the summer leagues and play against each other in the park. And that's another thing that's missing now. Kids are playing AAU ball, working out with trainers, but not playing in the park. Not figuring out their superpowers. We got kids, fifth and sixth grades going out on the road playing AAU basketball, not being able to figure out their superpowers. Now, salute to all the kids and programs that's able to get their kids out of the city and see something different. I think that's way more important than the basketball part, because the basketball part will come along slowly but surely, and they will finally get it. So, like to appreciate my guy, Dennis Marshall. But he also said, forgot to add this, says, very good kids get missed because there are so many teams and so many tournaments. Coaches can't be everywhere at one time. But this generation of coaches don't work like past coaches. They rely on certain programs and the transfer portal, which is very true. If you have great programs, when we talk about PSAs, the Compton Magics, Whiz Kids, Team Exodus on the girls' side. When you have those programs where they know quality ball players come from those programs, those coaches are going to make sure they go to those programs because they already know that they're going to have the quality players. They're not really stopping at the mom and pop shops or programs that's out there. And also, they got the transfer portal. So it makes their job a lot easier than the coaches from the past. So that's another thing to think about. All right. Uh Matt Luther. Matt Luther said, in my era, what's really lacking is just pickup basketball without coaches coaching. Just kids and young adults running fives, figuring out how to compete and play. Everything is organized now, and I hate it. He said, go run fives and get knocked around by better players and learn. Yeah, Matt, you got a point. You got a point. I mentioned that earlier. Kids need to play fives, figure out their superpowers, and then apply it, right? Then once you play against better ball players, you'll see what you're lacking. You'll see that you need to get better in certain areas. You know, if a guy's right-handed, learning how to dribble with left hand and do left-hand layups. If he's right-handed or left-handed, you know, being able to dribble with that right hand and make right-hand layups. You know, when we go to these games and watch the NBA, we see that a lot of players play the same. They have different styles. There's no real creativity. They have the same style, and there's no creativity. So you kids got to figure it out. Play some files, figure out your superpowers, then apply it. All right. Now we're going to go down to Mike Sanders. He's a head girls coach at Sherwood High. Says, so should only elite kids be allowed to play AAU basketball? What exactly defines AAU ball? There are numerous tournaments and everyone's goal varies. Some kids participate in club ball to prepare for and make their high school teams. There are different levels to this, and that's why there are elite circuits as well as local tournaments. It's a topic that requires much deeper conversation. I do agree. Now, there are those circuits such as Made Hoops who, you know, can have some elite programs in it, but also Made Hoops have some mom and pop programs in it as well. So it kind of varies. You know, I know myself being selected to the top 100 committee here in the United States, that is the elite camp. All right. The EYBL circuit is definitely an elite circuit that you can find some of the top players there. And also they have an elite EYBL high school league as well, where all the top players play. Salute to my guy, Mike Sanders. All right, let me take this last one, and we're going to get out of here. Mitch Evans, boys varsity coach at Thomas Downing High School, says, and a majority of all of its games, more money for teams and tournaments. Not many are actually trying to develop skills on a weekly basis. Cash grabs everywhere. Wow. Now this has a point. Has a point. AAU basketball, where you play 4 or 5 games a weekend. If you make it to the championship, you may play 4 or 5. If you don't, you know, you're going to play 4 or 5 games during the weekend. And if you are practicing, you're practicing plays and trying to make sure you're ready for that weekend. I don't know if there's too much development going on. I'm not at these AAU practices, so I can't say that there are or are not developing their kids. I'm quite sure they're doing their best to develop the kids, but when you have a program, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you have 5 to 10 teams. How many gyms do you have? A lot of these programs don't have gyms. A lot of these programs only have one gym and they got to kind of break it up. So the kids aren't really getting that much development. So the questions still remains. Is AAU hurting American basketball? Next episode, we're going to talk about European basketball and what they're doing to develop their players compared to what's happening over here in America. This is definitely a deep dive. I think we should keep this going into the summer. Hey, if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below. DM me at NYC Basketball History on Instagram. And maybe we could talk some more. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Hardy, and you've been watching High School Basketball Weekly, the AAU Circuit Edition. Peace.